How do I even begin this shit? Here's the story of the worst Airbnb trip ever. If I have to do this multiple times, I'll do this multiple times because it's really worth it. I will mention every name, I will mention every host, every location. So maybe this will actually like help somebody not not fall into the same trap, because I've been a victim of an Airbnb scam. So what's happened was, I have to set the stage first. February 1st, I've booked a 2-week Airbnb stay in Philadelphia. I'll explain why. The entirety of the end of 2025 has been like the most hectic time in my family's life. Everybody got sick, people were at hospitals. We have made it through. The entire time, my job's been quite demanding. My mother-in-law's lease was coming up. So for 2 weeks prior to February 1st, we've been packing her apartment. Our elevator was booked for February 1st and February 2nd. And we got half of the job done on February 1st. We were moving all day. And we had to finish up on February 2nd, I think. So on that day, whether it's the 31st or 1st or the 1st or the 2nd, that final day, we were packing the final stuff until 4 p.m. and we had the elevator, I think, from like 3 to 6. By the time we unloaded and everything and set my mother-in-law up in her new place so that we can come back comfortably, it was like 9 p.m. So we packed the entire life into this apartment. We had the cat with us, video games, cozy clothes, and we just wanted to relax. It's been such a hectic few months that I took off of work, and we didn't want to book any crazy vacations, like I said, anywhere far away. We didn't even have the funds to it like that. We just wanted to just relax nearby and just lay low for a couple of weeks. So I confirmed with the host. Here's where I'll turn to the laptop for a split second. I've spoken to him extensively before. We were looking, first of all, for a house somewhere maybe in Poconos or in Connecticut, but because of my mother-in-law just getting out the hospital, it was tough for her to walk around the time. And it would have been real tough to be in the woods, to get out of the car, and finding a house also that was like very easily accessible with enough beds on the first floor was kind of a challenge. A lot of the houses around here have the bedrooms on the second floor. So we ended up changing and pivoting towards getting an apartment, and then we figured, hey, where can we go nearby? We decided to just go to Philly. Historical place, right? We can look at the Liberty Bell, the Declaration of Independence or something. So we find this place hosted by Sheerman Ken. I want to pull up a picture. Kind looking guy. Verified since 2022, 4.5 rating, which I didn't know at the time when Airbnb means it's shit. See, at the time I thought 4.5 was like way above average, but Airbnb is like, the hosts, I think they can wipe negative reviews if they prove to the support that they fixed the issue. So let's say, for example, I complain about a broken sink, and they can just take a picture of a repaired sink. I don't know how many verifications they do, and they essentially get that review, the 1-star removed. I didn't know this. Turns out that's how they do. So Sheerman Ken, 4,700 reviews, 3 years hosting, and the last 3 reviews are not that great. We can look more. Good place for the price, plus during the trip. I thought it was good. I don't know why. I thought it was good. So I contacted this host. The pictures were beautiful. Let's look at the pictures. Look at this. You got the beautiful blue sky in the background. Nice white space. Good paint, good design. Like, if you look at this stuff, like white big couch. We thought this is kind of like an apartment life. You can live. There's supposed to be the river view outside. Good floors, you know what I mean? There are things that I see on these pictures now that if I was looking in the right places, I would have noticed quite a few things. But at the time, I thought this was kind of nice. You see over here, for example, that type of stuff. But we'll get back to that in a second. But it's supposed to have 2 floors, a bedroom on the first floor, a balcony, a second floor with like a large living room, common space type of area, a pool table, which we don't really need, but I figured we can just have some fun. I don't know. Wife and I, look, it looks pretty nice, no? It's kind of hard to tell what's going on here, but this is like a pool table room, and then you have another bedroom. Sure, why not? Bedroom, TV, clean sheets, beautiful blue skies. Enough said. You know, look at this. It almost looks like they got a baby crib. Lights are on. Everything's lovely. So I reach out to this host, and I asked this guy about the stairs at first. I think there was a form at first that you fill in where I've already said the reason for the visit is to just relax, lay low. We're not party people. We're not the college crowd or anything. We are grown, tired people that are going somewhere to lay low, to look at the historical district, to walk a little bit, and relax. That's all we want is a relaxation. So hi, we're super interested in your place. My only question is, does your building have an elevator? Because my mother-in-law has difficulty walking. Thank you. He responds with a generic information, copy-paste about the thing. Thank you for your interest in our home. Before confirming your reservation, please let us know the purpose of your stay, the maximum number of guests, check-in, check-out, pets, house rules, no parties, events, or gatherings of any kind, no unauthorized guests, cameras are installed in common areas, in the hallways, blah, 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 blah. Please reply, I agree. Says, yes, there's an elevator in the building. Hi, I read the terms, thank you. Purpose of the stay is to just get away from New York with my wife and mother-in-law, maybe walk around Philly or grab some food. No partying at all, we're busy people who are tired of their jobs and need some sleep. We have one very well-behaved cat who will probably be scared and sit in her little house the entire time. We don't smoke or anything like that. Thank you for the info about the elevator. I will consult with my wife and make the booking. Thank you for sharing your plans. Sounds like a lovely getaway with your family. So this is a more personalized reply. It doesn't look like a copy-paste or anything. It looks like the actual person speaking to you. Thank you for sharing your plans. Sounds like a lovely getaway with your family. Just a reminder, please inform us about your cat before booking to ensure everything goes smoothly. Definitely. Thank you. Get back to you soon. Thank you for your prompt response. Blah, 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 blah. I was about to book, and then turns out that the booking wasn't available. He made it available again, and we moved to a new conversation after I made the booking. Fixed, thank you, requested, etc. I get sent the same copy paste. I agree, and we have made the booking. There you go. So at this point, I get the guest portal link below to check in instructions and blah, 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 blah. And we get back to our story of the move where it's 9 p.m. and we're leaving New York. So at that point, around 9 p.m., should I still be able to check in tonight? No problem. He says, yes, God, thank you. Unusually busy day. Thank you for accommodating. You're welcome. No worries at all. I completely understand. Glad we could accommodate. Safe travels. We look forward to hosting you. So at 10 p.m., I get like a automated message, I believe, that says the host will not be, the staff won't be available 24/7. Any issues will be taken care of the next day. At 11:53 is when we have arrived and walked into this apartment. We've left New York around 9. I remember around 9 p.m. we were packing everything in the car, and the last little thing wouldn't fit, which was a router that we needed to return on the way, or we get charged like $300 for the equipment from the previous apartment where we were at. And I was like kind of angry at that point. I was exhausted, my back hurt, my stomach hurt. Now we're packing all the shit in the car, water, food to go and everything, and we barely fit everything in. I lose my vape in the snow, get pretty mad at that. And now we're driving. 2 hours driving into Philly. We've made it. We've parked right on the street at a metered parking spot. I said to myself, I'm gonna figure out parking tomorrow. So I walk my mother-in-law into the apartment first, right? Because we need to take care of the stuff afterwards. We want to sit her down. She's the least comfortable one. She's literally straight out the hospital. Not literally straight out the hospital, but very recently. And as I'm walking her in, I'm realizing step by step that something is not right. The building looks shabby. It looks deserted. The lock was weird. The lobby was dirty. There's trash bags in the lobby. It looks like a deserted Wild West scene. Something flies by. We make our ways to the elevator. Okay, maybe there's renovations in the lobby. We go up to the apartment, which still, once the elevator gets there, it still requires a few more steps of stairs on the floor for some goddamn reason. even though my mother-in-law can barely make the stairs at the time. We make the stairs. I touch the door. It's shaking. It's dirty. I open it up. And step by step, I realize that somebody's fucked up. When I start to say, I have pictures for everything, and I mean for everything, and I'm going to, in a way, hopefully expose this person, but in general, warn other people to be smarter with their bookings and to be more critical of the reviews on Airbnb. And maybe I can have some advice for how to handle the customer support agent, by the way, before I forget customer support. And basically, when I say that every single thing in that apartment was broken, I mean every single thing in that apartment was broken. I texted this guy at 11:53 p.m. Hi Sherman, we have checked in. There are a few issues with the apartment that I would need to discuss tomorrow. Thank you. And I remember I turned to my wife and she looks at me. So, what do you think? She asked me. And I said, I think what you think. Which was like, this fucking place is trash. What happened? The paint was falling off. The ceiling was falling off. There was no ECs, no heat. Every piece of furniture was in disarray or crooked or broken. Let's just go to the pictures because let's see. I got a message from him that night. Hi Vagib, thank you for the update. I'm sorry to hear there are some concerns. Feel free to send me all the details when you're ready so we can review everything and address them as quickly as possible. Obviously, I couldn't wait until the next day. At this point, I was quite frustrated. So I say, as I think I said everything, I stand by everything I've said. Unfortunately, we were disappointed with the condition of the unit. We don't expect perfection, but we would expect basic cleanliness. It feels very run down. I will send pictures. As soon as we walked in, a piece of I remember the little piece of, the white piece of ceiling fell on my head. All the walls were dirty. Man, when I say the walls were dirty, guys, oh my God, when I say the walls were dirty, here's the thing. I don't, personally, if I was doing a job or something and I had to lay low for a day and just get some rest, I could stay anywhere, right? But I brought my wife, my mother-in-law, my cat to this fucking place. And it looked like everybody just spit on every wall that there was. So, I'll get to those pictures in a second. All the walls were very dirty. My mother-in-law sat on the couch and immediately fell because the couch leg was missing. True story. Couch immediately goes boop. The curtain is falling off the wall. The TV remote is missing. We couldn't even find the TV remote to keep my mother-in-law entertained while we scrambled to get our shit together because we were so embarrassed and upset. My wife's a very clean person. We could barely sleep that night. The TV remote is missing from the bedroom. There's clearly visible roach repellent spray above the bathroom sink. I'm too tired today to continue this, but tomorrow let's discuss a refund or something for the remaining 14 days. Sending pictures now. Am I screen recording? Yes, I am. As you enter the kitchen area, you're greeted with this beautiful, wonderful towel. Next. This is how the curtain is hung up or hung down, whichever way you want to describe it. This is the condition of the paintings and stuff on the walls, the decorations, the stuff that's supposed to make this apartment look beautiful and homey and appealing and warm. This is how this shit looked. This is the roach repellent spray. Everybody who's used roach repellent spray knows exactly what this is. This is a roach repellent spray. This is the ceiling that kept falling on my head. Raindrops keep falling on my head, except they're not raindrops, they're paint. This is the microwave condition. This is the microwave condition of an apartment that the host has told me is welcoming us, myself, my wife, and my mother-in-law to relax for 2 weeks in between a hectic work and life and health issues. That couch leg, that leg over there, that's not from this part of the couch, it's from that part of the couch. This part of the couch is supposed to have a leg right there. It does not have a leg right there. That's why the couch is tilted there. And where the bag is where my mother-in-law sat naturally, because that's naturally where you sit on couches, in the corner. This is the condition of the walls. I wish I could say that this was like a chalk chalkboard, a whiteboard or something in school where the kids just ran up to it and decided to fuck it up as much as they could before the class started. But this is the conditions of the walls of the apartment being rented out to people. I paid fucking, what is it, $2,000 or something for 2 weeks of this shit. This is a sink that's not draining, with the roach repellent paste a little bit above there. And this is where the roaches are probably coming from. Now, I mean, you can't make this shit up. Let me just check this one thing. Let me check the goddamn camera app. It'll not be running out of storage. So let's get moving into the next picture here. There's more pictures that I sent to the support chat, I think. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do real quick on photos.google.com. This is the condition of the doors. Everything's falling off. This is the couch leg, the other couch leg, the lost child. This is more roach paste. Damn, I wish I should put up these pictures in the first place. These are better quality. Roach paste, ceiling, we've been through this. These are more walls. I mean, guys or girls, would anybody comfortably spend their night in a place with walls like this? I don't understand. What else we got here? This is how every single wall in that apartment looked. This is my heating situation. A fucking heater in some closet. This is the wall by the bed where you're supposed to relax and sleep for the night. The bed itself had some garbage on it, and I don't think I took pictures of it, but it had like little hairs and everything on it. And everything everywhere was like falling off and like the sink, there was a huge gap. The dryer and the washing machine has been apparently exploded. And I'm trying to find a picture of this. This is on the kitchen counter. This is how the outlet looks on the kitchen counter. Now I'm supposed to come in there and they charge you a pet fee. They charge you a pet fee for you to bring a pet and immediately kill itself by getting shocked on this type of shit. Wow, I'm like losing my speech abilities here. This is the handle, the rail that you're supposed to hold on to as you're walking up these endlessly long stairs with our mother-in-law, who was hard of walking at the time. And the guest bedroom on the first floor was so atrocious that I would rather carry my mother-in-law up these stairs literally while she has barely any ability to walk than to let her sleep in that place. So I sent obviously all this stuff to the Airbnb support, and I said that it was hazardous and unsanitary. We could not get a relocation to happen in due time. The host has offered to show us a different apartment to see if they could relocate us, and I don't remember whether I have the pictures up here or not, but it was about the same shit. I think these pictures are from the second apartment, and this one had the closet doors in your bedroom where you're supposed to relax. The closet doors are broken off. There's like bugs or some random slime on the ground. This is how the blinds look. Somebody like vomited or had a nosebleed over the blinds. This is how this is your comfort right here. I understand now that these apartments were designed for college kids to go in there for a weekend, trash them, play beer pong, get hammered and leave. And my issue isn't with somebody renting out an apartment like that, because 15 years ago I would have been happy to stay in an apartment like that. It's nice, it's big, it's got a fridge. But I had a conversation with this guy ahead of time, and that's what's unforgivable. You had to be upfront, my guy, Shermin. You had to be upfront and you had to say, I don't think this is the place for you. The stairs are too big, the place is a little run down. I'm going to do renovations soon. I reached out to their support. And first I reached out to his assistant, and his assistant had said that, oh, I'm sorry that we've offered you this apartment. It was supposed to be under renovation soon. My guy, if it's supposed to be under renovation soon, why the fuck are you renting it out to me? Okay? Secondly, you offered me the second apartment, and it was just as run down. Again, this like hole in the wall in the bedroom is in the second apartment. I remember that very clearly. Thirdly, this place had one cup. This place had one cup, and my cat was freaking out all the time, looking for something which we can all assume is like a rat or something, or a mouse somewhere in the walls. One cup, one fork, and the faucet lid, from what I remember, did not close. I don't think I even took a picture of that, because at that point in time, like I was a little bit overwhelmed. We made sure my mother-in-law is comfortable in the only bedroom that had any reason to be even called a bedroom. We had to sleep in our clothes, and we couldn't get anybody to help us that day. So the next day, I'm talking to our guy Sherman, and I say, you know, that everything sucks. He said, thank you for sharing this and for sending the photos. I'm very sorry about your experience. We do have another unit that will be available tomorrow. You're welcome to take a look at it first thing in the morning. I replied in the morning, thank you. When can we take a look? This guy says, I'll update you once I hear back from our staff. It's 10:40 in the morning, and I just spent all night sleeping in my clothes on a bed with some other people's hair and like blood stains on the walls and shit. Okay? My wife next to me, like freaking out. Right? I'm just telling her, no, it's okay, we'll fix it. She's at this point telling me we should just drive home, and I'm telling her, no, we're gonna get a different place, because they owe us, because they posted pictures of a clean place. They have an estimate when we can view the place. I say in maybe another 45 minutes, because we're losing vacation time until we're able to get comfortably settled in. Duh. Reasonable, no? Hi, Vagif. We'll update you after 4 p.m. We're coordinating with the team. We'll let you know right away once we have confirmation. Thank you so much for your patience. We really appreciate it, and we'll do our best to get this sorted as soon as possible. I don't know if you guys can tell by my face right now, but this guy wants me to wait for another 4 hours in this place. Every minute in that place was a hazard. I had to keep an eye on my cat so she doesn't touch any outlets. Nobody was enjoying their time. I paid money for this, and nobody's enjoying their time. We should have just stayed home at that point. So we just went someplace to feel dirty and disgusting and disgusted, and wait until 4 p.m. So I said, I'm gonna try to give you a call immediately. Sounds good. We'll keep you posted, whatever that means. At this point, I'm beginning to spaz out a little bit, right? I can't find a way to call you. We cannot wait until 4 p.m. only to find out that the place is destroyed as well. Because I had my suspicions, right? Who has an apartment like this and then like doesn't upkeep it? Why would I expect their other apartment to be any different, right? So your apartment is nice, but it's been completely neglected. I need to see the next unit early so I don't waste another day of vacation and let my family rest. Please give me a number and let me know how I can view the next apartment ahead of time. Otherwise, please sell me a full refund and I'll be out of this unit in an hour. My number is so-and-so. He responds almost immediately. He says, we've asked the team to keep us updated. Rest assured, Bagif will message you as soon as we hear back from them. Apologies for the inconvenience. Obviously, I'm really getting to my tipping point at this point. And I'm trying to keep it cool more or less because my family around me is so uncomfortable. And at the same time, on the phone, I'm like really losing my cool here. Sherman, I can't wait until 4 to see the unit. This will become a legal problem, whatever that means. I was really angry because the pictures misrepresent the condition of the unit that I paid for, which means I paid, but I did not get what I paid for. Obviously, I'm like crashing out here. Let me know your phone number, please, and thus let me know the soonest I can view the next place to get a full refund. My mother-in-law fell off your broken couch. Trust me, I don't want to start my vacation with this stress. I need to either A, see the unit in real life before any decisions, because I don't trust your pictures now, or B, fully refund via quick service like Zelle. In any case, I need to speak to you or whoever is in charge. Here's my number. He responds almost immediately. We completely understand. It's like talking to a robot. You guys know when you're talking to somebody and you feel like you're slamming your head against the wall? Well, that was me talking to this guy. I was so pissed at the moment. Okay, again, I'll make sure you're contacted directly. Again, I sincerely apologize. And at this point, when he hasn't told me a specific moment when he was going to call me back, or I'll give you a call in 5 minutes, in 30 minutes, at 1 p.m., whatever the fuck, I had made a decision in my head that, okay, I'm bypassing this guy, I'm contacting support, because this is a scam. This is a scam. I'm a nice person at heart. I give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt. I can understand if you have 10 apartments and you're renting them out and you have property managers and those property managers aren't doing their job and that's not your fault. But at the end of the day, that's not my problem. The money has left my account, the pictures were viewed, and then I come there and it's not the same thing. It's not even remotely the same thing. It's not even closely the same thing. You know, I can oversee a couple of issues, but I guess I've got fucking going on a rant over here. So I tell him I do expect a call by 1 p.m. I decided I'll give you a time. I'll give you an hour and 15 minutes with some information. I don't give a fuck what it is, but you gotta call me at 1 p.m. I'm deciding whether or not to report this entire situation, but again, I want to resolve this as stressless as possible. You already have my number. I tried to call you directly. You didn't pick up. I'll call again at noon. If the new unit will be in bad condition, I'll expect a full refund ASAP. Thank you. So he accepted my 1 p.m., said thanks. At 12 o'clock, I got a automated message, which kind of pissed me off. Hi, Vagiv. We hope you had a great night's sleep. I had the last thing from a great night's sleep. I woke up feeling like I have mold in my lungs. At 1:25, because I think wife and I were on the walk and we decided, okay, we'll give this doofus a couple extra minutes. He texted me, Unit 400 is ready for you to view. Please let us know once you're at the door. Okay, we'll be there shortly, 5-10 minutes. We get our walk back into the apartment. We are here, 10 minutes exactly. Like I said, 5-10 minutes. Thank you for the update. The door opened automatically because they remote opened it. Of course, we'll let you know. So, at that point, I went inside and we realized that the apartment is maybe like 1% nicer and maybe there's more than one cop, but it's still completely trashed. It's completely misrepresented. It's dirty, disgusting, run down, unsanitary, hazardous. Maybe I won't trip down the stairs, but somebody will. Maybe I, catch myself if the rail falls off, but somebody won't. And I reported this whole thing to Airbnb support. At that point, I was hoping for the Airbnb support to provide me like with a quick relocation. I've read somewhere that they can do like a relocation due to a hazardous environment, and that they would just take a L, put you up at some Holiday Inn or something, and then they'll get their refund from the guy themselves. But I was talking to the first level customer support agent on Airbnb, and again, it was kind of like talking to a robot. So I had to escalate it and wait for a callback from the manager or the lead problem solver of some sorts. Before that has happened, the first guy ignored what I had asked and processed a full refund. I didn't want to get processed a full refund before I was offered relocation. I would rather not deal with this. I would rather them deal with their money and them just relocate me. I already paid for it. I paid for, a good amount of money to find some place to put me up that's not broken for 2 weeks and let them deal with it. But he processed the refund. So now technically as a customer, I have got some sort of resolution, which is ridiculous, Almost a full refund, by the way. So that's a little side tangent that they still wanted to charge me. They still wanted to charge me like $160 or whatever for the one night stay. And they said, okay, we prorated the other, 13 nights or whatever. And that's what I was talking to the agent again. And I was saying, I want every last dollar from this place. Tax, I want every breath of oxygen that I fucking everything. Because I actually paid for this with stress. I paid for this stay with the opposite of health and rest. I've not slept in such a dirty place ever since I slept at the basement of my family business like 3 years ago. Like, I've never voluntarily slept in a place that's even remotely as dirty as this. Even when me and my boys were traveling, when we were younger people. And we were just partying and everything. We still have some standards to ourselves, some basic standards, for crying out loud. So eventually I get the customer support agent to refund me every single thing. And it was like still $20 short, and I had them send me every single thing back because I wasn't, and they made such a big deal out of it, saying that we're gonna give you a one-time exception for you, blah 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 blah. This is ridiculous. Okay, first and foremost, for the millionth time, I didn't even want the full refund right away. I wanted to just be relocated because I paid the money and I was on vacation. So what was I gonna do with a refund? I'm a regular person. I don't have like much money lying around on a day to day. I'm solving shit, I'm doing shit, I'm living life. It's not like I can wait and just like keep dropping G's left and right, left and right. I spent this holiday budget, you know, in a big portion on the fucking on the place to actually go sleep at, and now I had to wait 5 to 7 business days to get my money back. So what am I going to? Am I in limbo? Am I just sitting there sleeping in the car? Am I paying like for 3 days here, for 2 days there until I get my money back? What if I get it 7 days, 9 days in the future? Nobody knows for sure. I would have much rather Airbnb just do the right thing by their customer and relocate me, take the L because you guys did not do proper, you know, quality control on your hosts. You didn't fact check and background check your shit, not me. The money that I had, you got it, but the pictures that you showed me, I didn't get, right? But, you know, we ended up going back home. Because it was just beginning to be like the most ridiculous story ever, and we figured that we would just go home and sleep at home. We could have done that in the first place, but we just wanted to switch it up a little bit, just get away from our regular routines, from our regular day-to-day jobs and obligations, and switch the environment. You know, I'm a big believer in switching up the visual environment around you when shit's kind of, you know, becoming too much, and going outside, or like, you know, just switching up the environment, you know. I can never, for example, just sit like in a bad mood in the same place. I have to leave and switch what I see around me, and that helps me switch how I feel. So that was the whole goal with this stupid vacation. And we did get our money back, like I said, eventually, but we had to cancel all the plans for, you know, all the food and historical district, whatever we wanted to actually like do, if we wanted to do anything, and just go home and sit at home. 7 p.m. next day we make the decision, or, you know, that day, that's first real day. Second day after we, you know, slept one night, my wife starts helping her mother get back, and like I said 25 times already, it was hard for her to walk at the time, and I start packing the car. I get a few bags together, I walk outside to the vehicle, and this is what I find. Where do I even begin with this? Right outside of our Airbnb in the historical district, in a metered parking spot, I remember hearing earlier, like 2-3 hours prior to that, some sort of honking, and maybe like a garbage truck or a mail truck, something large, driving down that narrow street. But I couldn't even think that, you know, for some reason I didn't think that I would be the recipient of this bad luck. Everybody was parked the same way. This is a 2008 RAV4. It is not that wide of a car. I wasn't the furthest one out. Maybe somebody parked a little close on the other side. And at that moment, I didn't even want to go back upstairs with bad news anymore, because it was kind of shit. And I found I was on Fresh or something like Home Depot bag in the pile of garbage in the lobby of this Airbnb building. And I tore off a couple of handles, and I tied this bumper back together to the car, just like so. Because at that point, the only goal for me was to get my family home safely to New York. We all felt like something in the stars was screaming at us to get out of there, that's just a bad idea. It was bad planning and bad decision to even go. The front headlight's out now, by the way, as well. So I know that, you know, there's a risk of getting pulled over. This is how snowed in it was. So we hop in the car. We load it up. I tell my wife, hey, the bumpers, somebody fucked up our car, hit and run, but, you know, I put it back on the car. Let's just get out of here. Obviously, the car wasn't in great condition beforehand, but the bumper was never falling off, you know what I mean? We go to get some gas, and as we get gas, the car stalls out after we get gas. At this point, my wife just starts breaking down crying because it's been too much. It's been 48 hours of nothing going our way, and all we wanted was to get away and just lay low. Nothing crazy. We didn't have any grandiose plans or taking over the world or climbing the Empire State Building. We just wanted to get away and lay low. And somehow, I give it some gas to start the car, and I drive carefully home. All the while, my father telling us, "Hey, come back to New York, come back to New York. Be safe, just be vigilant. Something's in the air. Something is not right. Something is not right for you right now." And we get back to New York, and this page says there is more. There is more. Right. We get home to New York and we unload our car, and I help my mother-in-law walk through this pile of snow. It's been literally snowing every day that week. We finally load the stuff in the house. My father's here, like I said. We give him a hug. We all kind of start kind of joking about it, like, haha, this was wild. Oh my God, I'm so happy to be back. We help settle in my mother-in-law. And our cat goes downstairs to use her litter box. Happily, finally. The cat's shocked at what the hell we've done to this poor cat. We've stuck her in the carrier, dragged her for 2 hours in a car to Philly, to a place that was dirty, moldy, had mice in the walls, just for everybody to stress, put the cat back in the carrier and drive back to New York. So now we let this poor cat out, and she runs downstairs to use a litter box and runs back upstairs yelling at my wife. I don't know any of this. I'm talking to my father in the kitchen, and I hear my wife scream my name across the entire house, which never ever happens. So I drop everything and I run downstairs, and what do I see? Our bedroom looks kind of like this. I tried to make this legible and normal. So as we enter the bedroom over here, this is where the door would open to the viewer. This door opens to the viewer, and then you walk in this way. And you look, this is our bed over here, and we have 3 closets, one's shorter than the other 2. And in this closet, all we see is a waterfall, a fountain. It looks like a hydrant burst. So a major pipe has burst in that closet and has been pouring all over our bedroom. So after all of that, we come back to a completely flooded bedroom that had the carpet torn off, a bunch of stuff ruined, our bed ruined, and basically everything ruined except, luckily for the documents that my wife had the wherewithal to grab to go with us just in case. Turned off the water, we did what we could, we got an emergency plumber in there, and we realized that there's a silver lining to this, that there's a high chance that if we didn't come back that day, and if Philly wasn't that aggressively unwelcoming to us, that the whole basement might have flooded before my father, for example, would have even had the reason to go down and check on it. He goes to sleep early. We got back, I don't remember, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. He's the type of person that goes to sleep, let's say, from 10, 11 to like 4 or 5 in the morning. Wakes up, looks at the sun, all that beautiful stuff. So if he just went to sleep and woken up 6 hours later, this house would have had way more damages than just one bedroom. So there's a silver lining to it. After that excursion into Philly, instead of sleeping on my vacation, I spent the next 3, 4, 5 days, quite a few next days, all day from as soon as I wake up, sucking out the water from underneath the carpet, frantically trying to save it before we realize that there's no saving it, it's got to be replaced. And I guess that's the story of the most wildest, craziest Airbnb experience I've had. Let me look at this reservation again. This guy, Sherman Ken. I want to see the reservation again. Everybody, please, for your own sake. This guy, unless you start seeing some fresh reviews come in that are like, oh, this place is fire, like this is the cleanest place I've ever been in, you shouldn't trust this guy. All of his places are 4.6, 4.5, 4.7, 4.7, 4.4, and they're all the same. They're all done with the same cheap interior design decor that has been purchased probably at the same year in the same place, and it's probably been equally run down across all of these 10 or whatever units that he owns. I want to see once again, for example, my trips, Philadelphia, it's down to 434. Hopefully I helped that rating. and hopefully it keeps going down. You see, it looks like it's a very nice place. We know the Liberty Bell, you know the river, so you know that like this would be a very nice area. And we thought that, you know, we stay home, we play video games, we watch some movies, and we walk to, you know, the Museum of Art, this fucking this and that, have a cheesesteak, and relax. Relax. The first, you know, goal was to relax. Trying to see how else can I identify this. It's a home in Philadelphia. How else can I identify this? Help you guys. Cozy 2-bedroom Old City prime location. Okay, entire rental unit in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Welcome to a perfect getaway in the heart of Philadelphia's historic Old City. You see this? Be very skeptical. I'm not going to say run, because there might be other hosts who say the same thing, who are wonderful, wonderful people. And actually, I guess I should mention, maybe I should have mentioned this earlier, but you know, whatever. I've had nothing but great experiences with Airbnb prior to this trip. I've booked trips all across the US. I've booked places right above New York to just the same idea, get away and relax for a few nights. I've booked places in Europe. I've been to the north of France, you know, to some random ass town. I forget what it's called even. The Airbnb there was wonderful. It was like a business headquarters that they hadn't used for like half of the year, and they used for another half of the year. So for the other half of the year, they converted to a beautiful condo with a garden with a skylight right in the middle. It was amazing, right? I've stayed on a farm. We just recently went to a friend's graduation and stayed on a farm in an Airbnb, and you get exactly what you pay for usually, and exactly what's represented to you. So I don't know what's up with this guy, what's up with this fella. I'm willing to stand by my story, my words. I have all the screenshots and all the conversations with the support and with him and his assistant, and everything that, you know, that's involved with this shit. I mean, I showed you the pictures. Look at this. Does this in any way, shape, or form like compare to what we have seen over here? Look at the condition of this, and look at the condition of what he's trying to sell me that this place is. Look. Now, what I was saying before, now I know what to look for. Now I see the things that I see. I see that this door is falling off. I see that, you know, this every door is actually falling off. Stuff is like unreasonably crooked here. I see the microwave, you see, but you can't really tell from a picture like this far. You can't expect people to be that attentive to the little details. Like, there's no way. Is there a picture of the staircase? Very, very specially taken at this angle to where you can barely see this dirt, you know what I mean? The chipping everywhere. Now I know where to look. Like I said, oh, the pool table had no pool cues. I don't remember if it had the balls, but goddamn, it had no pool cues. So once again, I just want to compare for you guys. I just want to show everybody. I couldn't wait to get this off my chest. We've been talking about this for months at this point. It's been crazy. This is what you get. The other light didn't work, by the way. Of course it didn't. Why would it work? Why would you need two lights anyway, right? But it just looks different on this Airbnb website with the white background, with the perfectly color graded pictures. This is a good photo editing job, you know, if there is one. It's not like entirely misrepresenting, but just cleaning it up, you know what I mean? Look at how clean the floor is. You know what I mean? God. What did I forget? What did I remember? What did I forget? Customer support, check. Airbnb story, check. The flood, check. For one more time, avoid this guy. Avoid Shermin Ken. Avoid his cozy 2-bedroom apartment in Philadelphia in a historic town. That's it. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I'm loving it.